This meeting is being recorded.
Hello and welcome. I'm Mark Laufgraben, and we're here today to meet the cast and crew of the very exciting new sci-fi series in the making, a series based on a classic novel, Manhattan Transfer by Johnny Still. I'm delighted to be here with you today to introduce our guests and talk about how you can be part of this exciting journey and maybe even get your name on the big screen because some of these investor perks are out of this world.
They
we
are.
can't talk about That's right. We can't talk about everything during this webinar. If you have any questions about the deal terms, special investor perks, or any other financially related questions, please visit WeFunder to learn more, and I'm going to drop that link in the chat. Don't you worry. So let me start here by introducing the people we've got. Keep in mind that you can ask questions in the Q&A chat below, so get your questions ready. We'll turn it over to the audience toward the end. So
Or if there's no questions, Bonnie can jump in.
I'm good at that. I'm good at that.
Very good.
She has a well-known talent for improv. So we'll start with Sky Conway. He's the CEO, producer, and writer, and he's the producer of many award-winning science fiction films, including Star Trek: Of Gods and Men, Inalienable, Star Trek: Renegades, and Cosmos. Want to say hi, Sky?
Hey, guys.
Yep. Next, we have Sean Piccinino. Piccinino.
Yay!
Right? Yeah, I got it.
Hey, I like Pacino too. I go hooah!
Yeah, he has. I'm sure he's heard that one before.
Yes.
He has 6 feature films streaming on Netflix, with 3 of them reaching the top 3 most watched movies in the world. Pretty awesome, Sean. You want to say hi?
Hey, everybody.
We have someone joining us now.
Oh, we do.
By the way, Mark.
Okay, great.
Ooh.
So, well, next, let me go right on to our actors then.
Hey,
oh,
Doug.
Yep.
Hey,
everybody. Hey.
Yep. I see we've got Doug Jones here. You'll recognize Doug for his roles in Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water, Hellboy 2, and of course, Commander Saru in Star Trek Discovery.
Huge.
Big fan of you in Pan's Labyrinth, Doug. That was
Thank you. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, just it stays with me to this day. Just amazing.
Oh.
So next we're gonna meet Chalet Lizette Brandon. Chalet is a teen actress, beat leukemia at age 10, and she's been working in those spheres since then. She recently won the Best Young Actress from the Young Artist Academy and the coveted Humanitarian Award.
Wow.
Cool.
I didn't know some of that stuff. That's really amazing.
Thank
She's
you.
amazing.
An extraordinary young lady. Next, we're going to move on to Rico E. Anderson. Rico is known for playing a variety of humans and aliens. His selected film and television credits include SWAT on CBS, The Orville, which I'm sure many of our sci-fi fans are well familiar with, and Rosewood on Fox, Young and Hungry on Freeform, and another breakthrough role was in Sci-Fi, where he was tapped to star in the TV pilot Star Trek Renegades.
As Boros.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You still have that mask?
I do, actually. I do. I love looking at it every morning before coffee.
I don't blame you.
Me and Spurs.
And last but most definitely not least, the spectacular Bonnie Gordon. She's known as the ship's computer in Star Trek Prodigy. She's an avid gamer and TTRPG player and can be seen playing campaigns on multiple Twitch channels such as Geek and Sundry and Hyper RPG. She's also recognized from the ABC television fantasy reality series The Quest as Paladin Bonnie, and she has worked at the Magic Castle, a fantastic venue. If you haven't heard of the Magic Castle, look it up. It's an incredible place.
Been there 16 years. Performing there 16 years now.
Oh,
Do you do
wow.
magic tricks too? What can you do for us today?
Pardon?
Do you do magic tricks? There you go.
Look, if there's there's an open bar involved, I will make a lot of things disappear.
I mean, I would ask you to share your secrets, Bonnie, but I know that you can't do that on a webinar with hundreds of people. So
No, can't do that.
So we will
A
move right
magician
on.
never reveals her secrets.
That's right.
I'm more of a
Right.
misdirection, like
Yeah.
look over here while things are happening.
So Mark, I
okay.
have a question for you before we kind of jump into this. If any of our audience out there, and like you said, there's like a record number that are watching them, would you be able to just interrupt any of us to ask questions if they're pertinent to what we're saying at the time, rather than
Sure,
hold back?
absolutely.
I think that makes it more spontaneous and just kind of roll with it.
I'll be happy to. Yep.
Great. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. I'm Sky Conway again, creator behind this, a producer, and just very honored to have such a large group joining us today. Really kind of very humbling. Our main goal, what we want to do with Manhattan Transfer, is to really create, and this is ambitious, the next big sci-fi franchise. But what will make us different is that we're going to work from the ground up, starting with fans, the audience, and investors in this case. And so, as Mark prefaced his discussion, we're on WeFunder.com, Manhattan Transfer Film Fund. And so hopefully everybody that's joining us today has been able to jump on the site and kind of review what we're doing and are anxious to jump in and help us. And so I really started this journey going way back to 1990 when I first met Gene Roddenberry. Gene was a dear friend of mine at the end of his life for the last few years. I consider him my mentor, and Gene and I had some amazing, incredible discussions, not only about Star Trek, but just the universe, technology, the nature of life, humans, all their foibles, as well as their genius, the genius of humanity. He was a big believer and optimist, as we all know, and that was imbued in Star Trek. In our discussions, and I told Gene that my ambition was to get into filmmaking. I knew it was going to take us a while for me to get into it. And he shared with me two really important thoughts or ideas that he wanted to pass on to me. One was that when he started Star Trek, you sell your series, like he sold it to Desilu Studios, thanks to Lucy Ball. We have Star Trek today. She was a visionary, and a futurist herself, believe it or not. She really believed in what Gene was doing, although she was confused in the very beginning what Wagon Train to the Stars, which he called it, was about originally. But then she embraced it so much, she actually put a mortgage on her home to finance the second pilot. She was that much of a believer in what Gene was trying to do. But, he had to sell the series to Desilu. It was then sold on to the network, and the network has a large say in how you create a TV series, from literally every word written down in the script to what actors are cast, to how they're delivered it. And after 2 very long years of producing Star Trek and fighting what we call the suits, sorry if any are listening, but the suits at these studios, Gene didn't throw the towel in, but he kind of stepped back as a producer because they wore him down. And so the first thing he said to me was, Sky, if you can create, and we talked a lot of ideas for series, we kicked them around. And Gene said, look, if you can create your own series, and with this internet, and he said, one day you're telling me you can stream on, we didn't call it streaming, but you can have video and show shows on it directly to your audience. He said, don't go to the studios and sell your ideas. He said, keep them for yourself, produce it, raise the money the hard way. Don't go hand in cup to the studios, because at that point, he goes, you give away your show. Even though I think he did a masterful job of bringing the thoughts, the ideas, the stories of Star Trek with minimal interference, he felt it was too much on his end. So he said, 1, don't give away your what we call intellectual property. 2 was, he said, the other thing that I really learned was Star Trek would not have been in syndication, would not have been as big. We would not have these movies that we did at the time. He was producing Star Trek 6. He was, of course, elated that Next Generation was like capturing lightning in a bottle the second time. He said, look, don't ever forget your audience, starting from the ground up. He said, without my fans, without the audience, Star Trek would have died at the end of the 2nd season. Probably a lot of you know that Star Trek was saved by a letter writing campaign, which convinced the network to give it another shot for a 3rd year. That 3rd year made all the difference because it qualified to go into syndication. So it would have just died like so many earlier series in the 60s if you didn't reach at least 3 seasons. And so because it went on syndication in 1970, 71, we're all here today discussing Manhattan Transfer, who I want to, pay homage to Gene for that. So I embrace those two ideas. One, always include your audience, never forget them, engage them in any way you can. And then 2, do it on your own. So that's what we've done here with WeFunder. That's why we started with our backer kit first with our donors there. And our concept here is to involve them, you, our investors, our backers, right from the get-go and involved in creative decision-making. We're going to have outlets for you to reach to us directly. And of course, your investor will be in a very special place that will be reaching out to you directly as well. That's first thing. Second is Mark mentioned, and it's on our WeFunder page. Manhattan Transfer is based upon a best-selling book called Manhattan Transfer by Jonathan Stith. John is a friend, but more than that, he's just one of the great science fiction writers in my opinion. He ranks up there with Isaac Asimov and Robert Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke and Ray Bradbury in that group. He writes from what we call the hard science fiction point of view. And so he's a big optimist in humanity and what we can do when we apply ourselves, when we work together as a community, as a team, when we can use reason and rationality to solve problems. And so that's what hard science fiction definitely taps into, what Asimov, Heinlein, and those other greats that I mentioned. That's what John does in all of his books. I'm a big avid reader, obviously a science fiction fan. And one day I was in Barnes and Noble and I stumbled on John's book, Manhattan Transfer, in the 90s when it was first released, grabbed it, bought it, devoured it that night, and just thought, my God, this would make a great feature film, which, of course, many other producers were thinking at the same time. John, and another time, could relate his stories and the trials and tribulations of trying to get something from book to being put on screen. But with the advent of streaming, latest technologies, with WeFunder, so we can, and Backer Kit and Kickstarter, you can just reach out to your audience and tap them directly. It really hit me one day that the book is much better as a series than as a feature film, where you just tell the story in 2 hours and then you're done. It's one and done. The setup, as everybody knows, is Manhattan is abducted by this mysterious giant enigma starship. It's brought up into the mothership, and us humans, New Yorkers, realize that we're one of hundreds of other domed alien cities, and they have no idea why they were grabbed. We'll see that in the pilot, but we'll leave it with a cliffhanger. At that point, what happens after they're landed in the mothership and they see that there's all these other domed alien cities. I think I've been able to gather some of the great talent across the earth, some of the best actors, a great director. We really assembled a stellar cast that I'm very proud to attach to this. And I thought maybe we can move this discussion over to Sean. Sean is our director. Sean, if you want to jump in and just give your thoughts.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Of course, I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of this. And when Sky first reached out and sent me the book, which I thought was really cool. And I obviously really liked the book. And then he sent me the script and I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me all about this. And I was just kind of hooked really from, kind of the initial log line pitch he told me, really, like abducting an entire city and what that means to obviously it's this fantastical science fiction story, but really what grabbed me was the human element of it, right? That journey that all these people are going to be going through. And, you're going to see the best in some people, you're going to see the worst in others. And that kind of dichotomy is what really, really captured me from a storytelling standpoint, as well as obviously some fantastic visuals. I also have a visual effects background, so those kind of challenges always excite me.
How about stunts too?
Yeah, and stunts as well. I do have a background there, but so, and of course, then getting to learn more and all about the wonderful cast that we already have attached, and just like a dream come true of people all collaborating on this project. And like one of our well, several of our actors I've worked with before, and so really excited to reunite with them. And yeah, just really, really excited. I really believe in this project. I think the sky is literally the limit. The stars are the limit for this
Perfect.
thing, and just excited to get on set and start bringing it to life.
So you've worked with Casper before, right?
Yes, yeah, Casper Van Dien. I've worked with him a bunch. His beautiful wife, Jenny, as well, and Ashley, Eva, all of or Eve. I've worked with her as well. So yeah, we've got a great, amazing cast that's already filling out.
Great. Hey there, Doug.
Hi.
Everybody, Doug Jones. So maybe, Doug, you might want to just share your thoughts. I mean, you have an incredible background, so many films you've been in. Maybe you can share that with our audience as well.
Well, thank you. I read this script enough months ago that I'm hazy on what I'm playing in it, to be fully honest with you. I think it was an interesting role, and I'm tickled pink.
It's a
to play him.
wacky character, and you're not wearing any alien makeup. That's the important thing.
You're
Right, that's,
finally
that-
human.
That's what I appreciate. Yeah.
I mean, we want to see that beautiful face.
Wow, bless you for thinking so. Yeah, but I do remember. Yeah, the story itself that was quite fascinating to me, that an entire city the size of Manhattan could be carved out, bubbled, and taken off to a mothership. That concept alone was like, that is so cool. And it did. And the pilot script that I read for this series left you hanging, wanting to know more. That's a good sign. So that bodes well for a series, I think. And to play with all these people that you have assembled, including Walter Koenig. Am I wrong? He's still involved, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You bet.
He's a friend of mine, and I just I love him dearly. And
You
so
just saw him at a show, didn't you, Doug?
just recently. We spent time
Yeah.
we've done a couple conventions together just recently. Yeah. And he's one of the funniest people I've ever known in my life. But you have to listen because it's all deadpan. You know. So I love him dearly. Yeah. So and to the Star Trek legacy that he brings with him is like, oh. So for Star Trek newbies like me in this new wave of shows with Discovery starting that, getting to play. Well, you said Commander Saru. I'm now Captain Saru, and now actually Ambassador Saru. I've had a couple of promotions since the beginning of the show.
I mean, more money too.
No, heck no. You kidding me?
They don't use money in Star Trek. Come on.
Yeah, we're giving you a fictitious promotion. Like, oh, okay.
Volunteer basis. No.
It's quite great low. But all
Rick,
happy.
did you know, by the way, did you know that Walter's from New York City? That's where he was born.
I guess I did. Yeah, right. That
Yeah.
is very familiar. So
Wow.
he's probably happy to see it carved out and gone away. I don't know. I don't know.
No, he wants to be aboard. He wants to be in the dome.
Mhm.
But we're going to take Yankee Stadium because he and I are big Yankee fans. So
Okay.
we're going to take Yankee Stadium with us while they're playing a home game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Miss out on that. So maybe we'll kick it up to, how about Rico? Why don't you
Hey.
introduce yourself? Say hello.
Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Rico E. Anderson. A bunch of credits were already mentioned in terms of where you may have seen me, what I may have done, what I may have not done. I've done a lot of really cool stuff in the industry. Very, very blessed to have done a lot of really wonderful things. And on the sci-fi tip, I've been very blessed to have played some really cool characters. And one of my first gigs was working with Sky on Star Trek Renegades, and being very proud of being a part of that. I speak very highly of it to this day. A lot of people still speak very highly of it, and just loved what we did at the time when there was no Star Trek on the air, and was this feeling of wanting to keep that ball rolling. And I just had a wonderful time. And so when Sky threw up the bat signal and hit me up to be a part of this, I was like, gotta come through.
Well, we created that character for you, Rico.
and then to have a character written with you in mind,
Big dog.
thing with an actor, we want that, well, we want an Oscar too, but we want the character to be written with us in mind, or an Emmy. So yeah, so that was even double the love and just just the opportunity to work again. And look who we're working with. I mean, come on, and
Cool.
so my character is Big Dog. So Big Dog is
He's a big dog.
I'm a big dog. Well, he's described as tall and slender, not so imposing, but never underestimate him. He's compassionate in the downtrodden, but threaten an innocent person, and he'll be all up in your ass.
Okay, big dog.
I
can't wait to see that.
I rewrote the last part of that breakdown, but basically, I'm all up in your ass, or I'm your worst nightmare. So yeah, I'm excited.
I love it.
I'm excited to jump into working and creating, helping to create Big Dog,
And hopefully it's a long series.
yes,
Right?
yes.
So we can really develop all the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously we created it with an ensemble in mind, so everybody will have all of our star actors that are here and more will have their own really incredible story arcs.
Yeah, I'm really getting to explore those arcs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for the future, where hopefully we'll do a prequel series, which will be Manhattan Transfer: The Rise of Big Dog. But we'll talk about that. I'm joking.
And then next to Rico's,
I'll have my guys
Big
talk to your
Dog.
guys about that.
Yeah.
And next to Rico's Big Dog, I'm going to be the shivering Chihuahua.
It'll be like
That might that's going to require a makeup though, Doug. So
Wow, God, again.
or prosthetic.
have you played a dog character yet?
Oh gosh.
I think
know
I'll
what?
be the downtrodden poodle. Just
There you go.
Keep the theme going.
We'll do the voice.
I've been a kangaroo man twice. I've been a fish man twice, but never a dog. No.
Well, it's early.
We're going to do that because you can play multiple characters, Doug.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Got the
So
t-shirt.
everybody, the Chalet, I think we'll cue you up next. I want everybody to know that she lives in Florida, and unfortunately, yeah, I know, Chalet.
Staying
She
safe.
Are
Yes,
you
I am.
Chalet? But the hurricane's going to hit you guys straight up.
Yeah.
You're outside of Orlando, is that right?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit outside of Orlando, kind of closer to Tampa-ish.
Oh,
Where
funny.
the hurricane's going to make landfall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So our
Dang.
prayers are with you and anyone else in your family this year. I know your dad's not in town. I have a brother that lives in Tampa, got hit by Hurricane Helene, lost his cars, lost his first floor, all kinds of bad stuff. Just not at all recovered, and that, he's gonna get hit hard.
Not good.
So Chalet, you want to
Hi.
talk about some of your past projects? Look at her. She's our award-winning actress. Besides that, brings that youth factor that we need.
Mm.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chalet Lizette Brannon. Something that you might know me from is I did Renegades fairly recently with Sky. That's kind of how I got into this project. So I kind of got into this project through that. When I read the pilot, I was very excited, mostly because it takes place in New York. But I do play a character named Maria. She's kind of a typical teenager, which you kind of get to understand why she acts the way she does because of her upbringing. She kind of was alone for most of her life, so she had to learn to be independent very quickly. So I'm very excited to play her, especially with the age I am now in my life. I think it's very telling and very perfect for the time that I'm in right now with my life.
Mm.
Yes, she's a wisecracking kind of character, also a thief and a few other things too. It's going to be a great character. So Bonnie, you're up.
Oh boy. Hi, everybody. Like they mentioned, my name is Bonnie Gordon. You might not recognize my face very much because most of the jobs I do involves voiceover. I do a lot of cartoons, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, a lot of different projects, video games with Capcom, Nintendo, And I'm also a singer, so you might have heard my voice on a lot of different soundtracks of video games and cartoons, as well as I do my own music. But I'm so excited to be playing on a show that's live action, so you can actually see my face. But of course, the role that I have is the voiceover character of the shock jock, of the DJ shock jock on the New York's biggest radio station. So even in live action, I can't escape doing VO, which is gonna be great. But she is a shock jock who hosts like a controversial call-in show. So that's gonna be fun for me to play like a kind of controversial character. I definitely plan on having giant boards behind me with pictures and strings of, you know, the government conspiracies that I personally believe in. No, I'm just kidding. But she likes to stir up.
You can write your own part then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start like cutting out magazine pictures and being like, did you see what Jennifer Lawrence did with Ben Affleck? You know, just like different. I blame the senators, you know, whatever. It's fine. But she likes stirring up her audience and getting people kind of riled up, which might not be the best scenario when your entire city gets abducted by aliens. But it does seem like because of her dedication to the radio station and the way she has her technology set up kind of off the grid from the government, I think she's going to be the sole source of information for most of the city, because she'll actually still be able to broadcast when most people have lost power and stuff. So who knows what trouble Joy is going to get into. We'll see what her character arc ends up being. I'm eager to see where they bring her. But I'm very happy to bring her to life and to play such a fun role and to work with not only just such amazing like sci-fi legends, but also people that I consider friends now, you know, through the convention circuit and through Star Trek. So I'm just so honored to be a part of this project, and I can't wait to get the ball rolling and the city abducted. Let's go.
Me too.
Come on, aliens.
Let's go. Go.
We're on the clock, people. Let's go.
Yeah.
We got a city to save.
How do we save it? So Mark, I know you're probably, are we getting any questions from our audience yet? I'm hoping
Sure.
that a lot
Let
of
me
questions can be directed to our actors. That's why we're having them here, and our director. They haven't.
Well, sure. Let me toss some your way and your director's way to start. The first question is here: how much of the overall series arc is already mapped out, and how flexible is the story to incorporate audience feedback and engagement?
Well, that's a good question. We actually have what in the business we call show Bible. And so not only do we have the pilot script, but we have the next season's episode log lines written out, mapped out where we want to go with that. And then we have a larger story arc that goes over a 5-year or 5-season period. We kind of map out the cliffhangers, where we want our main actors to be and the characters to go. And of course, how we're going to end it. Should I tell everybody?
No. Sure, go ahead, Scott.
Perfect
spoilers.
time.
No spoilers.
We'll get some brain at these.
No. So yeah, we have that. It's not in the book. So if you get John's book and read it, it basically will have a different ending. So and
expanding, it expands a little bit further, obviously.
Oh
yeah.
Certainly, yeah.
So, but I think, you know, obviously Sky and I have talked early on that, you know, yeah, I mean, audience feedback, like he was mentioning earlier with Dean and all of that, that's obviously a very important thing. So, but having that plan in place, obviously Sky has really worked hard on figuring out this overarching story, this grand story, you know, and that's important to have that stuff thought through. Now, of course, you know, just like everything, there'll be things that tweak and change as we go, and characters coming in and getting taken out and all of these different things. But really exciting process. But I'm very excited that there is this grand story. It's even bigger than where the book goes, and that's really, really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great answer. So let me ask you then. So let's say that the pilot receives a strong viewer response, which of course we're all hoping it will. How do you plan to scale your production, and what infrastructure is in place for you to do that?
Okay, that's a good question. So our next step is, once we film, we're going to produce, independently finance our pilot, Once it's done, then we're going to bring it to all the major streaming networks. So certainly we'll bring it to Netflix, Amazon, Apple, maybe Hulu. I know a few of the others that are out there. Even Tubi is a new player. I don't know if anyone watches Tubi at all. So there's quite a lot of streaming studios that we can bring it to. So depending upon what the offer is, and how much money they can give us to produce the next season, and I'm going to try to do my best to get a commitment for more than one season if we can, especially if we can raise the money independently, that guarantees that we'll get further episodes and further seasons, as we go along. So we have to get this. Go ahead.
And I think that's partnership too, right? Is the other
Yeah.
important thing. And so again, obviously, upholding, the partnership, like looking really for a streamer that's going to be the best partnership in collaboration.
Not
so
necessarily
that,
the most money.
right. And so that this vision, this creative, really important creative vision is able to come to fruition.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, great. So let me continue a little bit on the question of like the future. When we're talking about the future planning of the show, is there going to be any kind of opportunity for community involvement in future episodes? I ask because we're crowdsourcing this. Would there be any crowdsourced elements in your show or fan contests?
So that's a great question. And absolutely, we're going to embrace our audience from the ground up, from them, starting with them. This is designed to entertain them. At the same time, we hope to maybe enlighten the way that Gene did with Star Trek. Actually, if I had my goal, my druthers, we would be able to raise enough money ourselves to produce this and then distribute it after we've produced it on one of those platforms. So depending upon how strong our reaction is and what the streaming studios give us in terms of their feedback as well, I like to reach out to our audience right from the very beginning, beyond the pilot, and involve them. Contests are possibly one, but mostly just getting their feedback from the pilot directly. So it's not going through any filters at the studios. And so they can tell us what characters they like, what they didn't like about particular story arcs, right? And what other characters maybe we could even add, ideas that they can contribute. Now, there's legal issues, of course, when you get involved in that area. We don't have to get into that today, but absolutely we'll be embracing them to be a part of this whole journey along the way.
Okay. So speaking of being part of the journey, okay, you've got early supporters that are passionate about seeing this vision through. How can they become more actively involved in the show's development beyond just financial investment?
Well, as I said, we're going to have a portal especially set up for our audience and our investors in particular. So anyone that got involved with us from the ground floor, we'd have a direct way to reach out to them, not just, on the internet like Facebook, although we'll have Facebook pages and things like that. We'll have TikTok, all the social media, but we'll have a special site for our investors to go to engage with them. So if they get involved, like if they go into WeFunder right now and help us, I mean, they certainly become a part of that small community. We're really looking for about 1,000 investors to support us. That's all we need to get this project fully off the ground. So we have a good start, and we hope to get this finished and wrapped up before the end of the year. So they'll have a direct means to contact us, the producers, the directors. We'll have different forums. We'll have webinars like this, podcasts, all the means we can to reach out to them directly.
And I will say, for those who can't invest or have maybe already invested and want to still get involved, the best way right now is to share the links. Share it with your friends, your family, share it on your social media, because right now it's all about getting the word out and growing the community. And, the investment is important, but we know right now not everyone has the means to invest. So sharing it is a great way to also help this project get off the ground.
And also, and this is pretty obvious, but reading some of the comments on some of the posts that we have put up, we are not affiliated with the group.
Yeah, we're not the band.
We're not-
Although
Oh.
I think in a previous interview, I did really push Sean to make a musical episode,
Yes,
mostly
yeah.
just for me. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm, you know,
I'll be a background dancer,
a
but
dance off with the aliens, you know,
Oh,
some neighboring city.
we
I'm
we
ready.
can fully do that. We can fully do that, of course. Yeah.
Is
So
that
glad we're
band, is
in
that band
agreement.
still around, by the way? Are they still
Yeah.
around?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
No,
think they are. Yeah, yeah.
I
and I
better
say
reach,
that
I
with
better reach
respect
out to
for
them.
them because they've been around forever. But yeah, yeah.
Honestly, Sky, I'm just throwing this out there. That would be such a fun cameo to get in the pilot if there's like a band rehearsing and the
Ooh,
ground
right.
starts to shake and it's actually
Right.
Manhattan Transfer.
Oh
You
my
know?
gosh.
Oh, that would be
Let's
amazing.
call them up.
Oh,
You know,
that
hey
would be
guys,
amazing.
are you busy?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
You want to
gosh.
get abducted
amazing.
tomorrow?
Want to come to New York City? Yeah.
Doing some
New
sweet
brand the
harmonies. Right?
brand. Oh, hey,
Just saying, what a
hey.
fun cameo
It's
idea.
like our version of the Titanic band that's playing as it's
Oh
going
my
down.
God.
They're playing as we're
Exactly.
being abducted. I love this. I love this.
I like that.
The
Yeah.
group
good
sang
idea.
on. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
so this actually isn't a question. It's a comment though. Might be considered our first bit of fan interaction here. It's by Randy Fitch. He says, "I read Manhattan Transfer when it was first released, and I've always wanted to see a film or series about it. At some point, I contacted John Stith and now have all his books autographed. When I heard about this project, I had to make an investment. I'm really looking forward to its release." So that's Randy
Wonderful.
Fitch.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Randy.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a part of it.
for the word.
So why don't we switch over a little bit and then give the actors a chance to shine? So let me ask a question to you guys collectively. Having been part of previous Star Trek productions, um, or just talking about your general acting experience, what drew you to this particular alien invasion story? How does your role in Manhattan Transfer interest you or challenge you in new ways?
Great question. For me, what really got me excited for the project were the people involved in it. Because honestly, you know, you can work and work all the time, but if you're not enjoying what you're doing and not enjoying the environment that you're in, uh, then it doesn't become fun anymore. And when I saw who was already attached and who was behind it, and you know, them bringing Sean on as the director, and just everyone involved from the ground up got me the most excited because you always want to be a part of a project where it feels like a family, and the people that they've collected for the cast already is kind of like a family. We're like the sci-fi misfits of, you know, Star Trek and, you know, stormtroopers and, you know, just all the different, oh, the Orville, all the different sci-fi franchises that this cast is involved in and have their hands in some particular way. I think it's such a fun project that we're all coming together to do this and creating a whole new world, a whole new story, and getting to bring all these characters to life. But we're already we already know each other in some particular way, so it's already going to feel. I feel like the it's going to help already the chemistry between the actors and the characters. There's already going to be some kind of love or camaraderie there, and you know, showing the best in people, the worst in people, like Sean was saying. I think it's really going to bring that out of us because we're already in a community of people that we enjoy working with. And that's what got me excited about the project and the story. I bought the book as soon as Sky mentioned the script to me, and I went and bought the novel first and read through it. And I was like, oh man, this could totally be a series. So I'm just really excited to see it come to life and to bring it to life with people that I already enjoy working with. That's my mic drop.
I'll pick it up. Boom. So thanks, Bonnie. For me, when you are reading a script and you're saying to yourself, "I have never seen a story like this before," that's a good sign. That makes me want to jump in and get involved. The other thing was what you mentioned before, having a career of 38 years under rubber bits. When Star Trek Discovery, we filmed our final episode about a year and a half ago. I took the rubber off, and I've been playing humans ever since last year and a half. and I've been very much enjoying that. And I've been devil in human form. I've been an alien posing as a human. I've been, serial killers. It's like this face does colorful
You're
things.
you're not
Typical
alien,
Tuesday,
actually,
typical
after all.
Believe it or not, yeah. So this, but what I love about this too is I get to use my own face in the wheelhouse that is sci-fi still. So it does keep me in the right genre for the fans I've collected over these years that I love and owe so much to. So this is maybe a little payback to them.
Right. I'll pick it up. Thank you. Um, I come from the San Francisco Bay Area, where we are very big on independent productions, independent film, independent theater, and just creative works that um, that we become very passionate about getting off the ground, getting the community involved, and being a part of a new piece of work that will probably become a masterpiece. And I've always been drawn to that. And what's been great about my experience here in Los Angeles, I've done a lot of the mainstream Hollywood TV shows, films, things like that. But then I've also been involved very heavily with a lot of the independent projects that have come out. And what's been great over the last few years with there's been this independent sci-fi community that I've been very blessed to be a part of through the various projects that I've worked with Sky, and doing films like Fifth Passenger, and just so many other wonderful productions. And it really does bring the community, the sci-fi community together, especially like the Star Trek community and people from other various franchises. And it's just really cool to always be a part of a new project that's coming out that really draws that community back together. And it helps to keep that genre alive. And look, Hollywood's going through a crazy time right now where we're auditioning for things, but a lot of it's not the same. And, we don't know where all of this is going to go, or when things will go back to normal, or if normal is a thing of the past and now this is the new normal. We don't know. But what we do know is creativity never dies. And when you have independent projects, it's always going to be a cool thing. And being the big old nerd that I am, when you have independent sci-fi projects, come on, man.
You say yes. You say yes.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And to be able to say that, yes, I have worked with a lot of these people before in various genres and various projects, and like either from film to, if we've been on the con circuit, signing, or we're at this event, we're at that event, like we're making the rounds, we're doing the thing. So to be able to say, yes, I'm working with Doug again, because Doug and I worked on Fifth Passenger, even though we didn't have any scenes together, but we were there. Work with Sky again, Star Trek Renegades. Bonnie, I've known you forever, and to be able to work with you and chew up some stuff with you,
We'll get a fight scene. Big dog, let's go. I'm ready.
I break into the studio, and while you're broadcasting,
I think I'm going to bet on Big Dog, though.
Start throwing records at you, trying to like decapitate.
Right. I'm just ducking and bobbing and weaving, and and it's just great. And Chalet, it's just, just to be able to just come together and work with some cool people who know what's up. And then all you guys, Sean, Mark, it's just going to be cool. And so I'm excited, and I hope the people watching are just as equally excited. And I think we got a cool thing here, and I think it's going to be awesome.
It's like a project that we're all feeling, passionate about, to where we're all coming in together, doing it out of love. I think that's also really going to show too. Charlotte, I'm going to throw it to you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think what got me excited, I think the whole concept is very intriguing. I think especially having it set in like a big city like Manhattan, and having something like that be erupted. And then, like I said earlier, my character, I think it's just the perfect time in my life right now, and the age that I am right now, becoming a young adult, playing this character, just because of where she's at in her life. I think it kind of lines up very well. So that's mainly what got me very excited about it.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you
And
very much for
definitely, yeah, Chalet, you definitely obviously have some real life experience to draw on for somebody who's had to, you know, be a survivor, clearly, and
Right.
that's I really applaud that, and I think you've got fans in all of us here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So another question that we have here from Thomas Hickey is there any preview or teaser that can be viewed?
Right now, only what we have on the WeFunder site. We have a short little teaser concept. Mainly the trailers that when you normally see from an audience standpoint is after you've actually filmed it. So you have your actors in it, you get these great performances, you kind of piece together the short story that you want to tease with the trailer. We can't do that yet. So, but we do have something that's, I think it's 30 seconds long. That's on the WeFunder page. So direct you to go there as well.
And we are going to work on some other materials as well.
Yep.
So yeah, we will have some more teaserish stuff. Obviously, we haven't filmed anything as of yet, but we are working on some things. There will be some conceptual things as well that will be coming to the pages. All the things, all the social medias and WeFunders and all of that.
Me and Rico's fight scene. We can just meet up tomorrow and flush it out.
Can you guys do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that together for us.
We'll get
Thanks.
Doug in the middle, like trying to.
Well, and
keep us
Sean's
apart.
done stunts before, so Sean, you should be jumping in.
I got your
Director
back.
gets off camera and jumps in.
I'll choreograph it. Yeah.
We're getting this together already. We're ready. To
Yeah, we're writing it as we go. I'm just kidding.
go.
So there's a comment here from Andrew that maybe we can expound on a little bit, talking about the story. Andrew says, I'm glad to hear there's going to be so much focus on the human side of the story. Do we have any discussions we want to undertake about that?
Well, that's it. Actually, Andrew, you nailed it. Really great sci-fi is really about humans, about humanity. And what separates science fiction from any other narrative story is it's the what if. What if humans were put in this particular situation? How do they react to it? How do they get out of it? How does life get back to normal if it's something, a conflict or Armageddon, or in this case, New York City stolen and brought up into an alien ship. So it's the best sci-fi really focuses on what it is to be human, challenged and actually taking a page out of Gene Roddenberry's book of Star Trek. Manhattan Transfer is going to follow the concept of having morality tales behind each of our stories. So even though TV's is focused on the actual character and what they're going through, at the end, there's always going to be some kind of moral to the story, at least that particular episode. And then it leads to the next one, because we have a bigger story arc, unlike Star Trek. Well, Star Trek had the big story arc. We're going on for 5 years to explore the galaxy. So in a way, we've got the same idea behind this. So it's really going to be about humans and then and they're all tested. Some good, some bad.
Yeah, and how they're going to work together or work together with maybe some
Aliens.
Alien species, right?
Right.
And humanity can extend to not just humans, right? I think that idea as well. So lots of great stuff to explore, but it is that we are focused on telling that story.
We have a love scene with one of the aliens.
Well,
who knows? Maybe
a dream sequence.
No, none of this dream. I'm sick of dream sequences. I want to be doing what Big Dog does.
Well, that's what Big Dog does. We'll have to write it in for you.
How Big Dog got his name. Okay.
Yeah.
If only we had
got
someone.
around once.
Oh my God.
If only we had someone on the team who was experienced in non-human love scenes.
Well, I don't like
They're done
Dougie.
that, yeah.
Pass that to Dougie.
How'd that work out for you, Doug?
How about a love scene with Dougie as an alien? Look,
Hey.
I don't think he wants to
by
be
the way, how
typecast.
did you get that gig?
I would pay good money for that. Jumping off of what?
Take us there.
When you are playing a fishman in a movie like The Shape of Water, and you do have a love story to portray with a human being, Guillermo del Toro as a director was really he's a a front runner in turning monsters into the most human character in the movie.
Mhm.
The
Bam.
monsters in his movies are often a human who's gone off the rails and is very narcissistic and very self-absorbed. And the monster is the one who's the sympathetic one who actually has more of the moral of the story to tell.
Mm.
So I believe that we can have that same element here in Manhattan Transfer, probably.
100%. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any type
That's
of
a winning formula because it really is
Yeah.
great to switch the perspective like that.
Yeah.
when you think of
Love
some
that.
of the best sci-fi and the best horror, you know, Walking Dead is a perfect example. Yes, you have the zombies as the monsters, but really the survival story is surviving the other humans that
Mhm.
have
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that you know have let their ugliness come inside. So, you know, when you have a city as large as Manhattan now fighting for survival, you know, survival instincts come out and
Mhm.
again, just like what Sky and Sean were saying, the best of humanity will show, the worst of humanity will show. So
Right.
it's scary that, you know, you can also parallel it to some of the things that are happening in the world today with like the natural disasters that are happening. You know, it's watching the news, it's where you can find some of the best of humanity, of complete strangers
Yep.
helping each other, of rescuing each other, saving each other, but also the worst of humanity, you know, where you see like people, you know, every man for himself. So I really feel like this story is a perfect timing with what is happening in the world right now with so many, with the world being torn, you know, both environmentally and politically and religiously. There's so much that can be shown with what together can achieve. And I
Mm.
love that this Manhattan Transfer really focuses on that of surviving together, or at least attempting to.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
does also help to show people from all walks of life, and piggybacking off of what Bonnie's saying, you never know who these people are, or depending on, you know, what their obvious breakdown is, but you know, where did they come from? What were they before all of this, you know, went south? What was their relationship to whatever, you know? It's like, and how has this situation changed them, maybe, or for the good or for the bad? So,
Manhattan's such a melting pot, so you are going to see all walks of
Such a
life.
great, yeah, a great
Mhm.
slice of the world to be
Mhm.
focused on for at least the human side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have all walks of life. Hey guys, I hate to go, but I've got to run. I loved hanging out with you guys. I love being a part of this.
Thank you,
And I'm
Sean.
super excited to get on set. I cannot wait. And
Right.
we're going to make something truly, truly special because, again, we are doing this project out of passion, all of us. Sky has brought his passion for this and just injected us all with it. And I'm so, so excited about it. Can't wait to collaborate with everyone here.
All right, go block my fight scenes now, Sean.
Okay, I'm on it. I got you guys. I got
so
you.
Bonnie doesn't hurt me too much, because you know,
Finally, my dream of being an action star and a DJ.
Mm.
thrown up in the room.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll see you all soon.
Thank you, Sean.
Bye,
Thank you,
Sean.
Sean.
Bye.
So we have a fun question here. I don't know about the feasibility, but do you have plans to have John Stith make a cameo appearance?
Oh, absolutely. Somebody was reading my mind. Not
Yeah.
quite Alfred Hitchcock, but we'll have him in one way or another.
Oh, it's great. That's
It's a great
fantastic.
question.
And the Manhattan Transfer Band.
Yes.
Might as well bookend it. We'll
right.
get John to be in the band, and then
Yeah.
it'll just all come together.
Right, they could be playing while the abduction happens,
Yeah.
Telling you,
but
all the way.
little on the nose maybe. But
No, it works for me.
oh, okay. But okay, that is exactly so Andrew Farnsworth says, you know, that is exactly what is portrayed in the book, talking about the human element, showing both sides of humanity and how the best part really shines. So
Mhm.
I think Andrew is at least pretty excited about what we're cooking up here. So
Mhm.
okay, well, we are reaching the end of our hour here. Does anybody have a closing message that you want to share?
Just want to thank everybody for joining us. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you, Doug and Chalet and Bonnie and Rico and Sean, and great conversation, great time. But more than that, we're going to make a really great series. Appreciate if everybody could just go to wefunder.com, go in for Manhattan Transfer and jump in and help us out. We're only looking for literally less than 1,000 to join us on this journey at this part. So we're going to go fast, and I think we're going to do very well with the raise over the next 2 to 3 months. But I hope that everyone that's watching can jump in and join us. and appreciate your support so much. Thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pleased. Go on, Bonnie.
No, I was just gonna say, just like how they say, like and subscribe. Honestly, just check out the sites, check out the social media, share it with everyone because that's how we get the word out and that's how we get the excitement growing and the fan base growing. And follow all of us. We all have different projects that we have our
Right.
hands in, and I think this cast is very fun and diverse and exciting to get to play with. So we want you all involved in any way possible. So come and join in on the fun.
Join us and play fun.
Well, thank you very much, Bonnie. And yeah, thank you for joining us today, Sky, Rico, Chalet, Doug, and Bonnie. And of
Chalet,
course,
be safe. Be safe,
yeah, and
Chalet.
be safe,
Thank you
Chalet.
so much,
Yeah.
guys.
Stay safe.
We'll be thinking of
Thank-
you.
And
Thank you so much.
we will see you all in the stars.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, bye-bye, love.
Bye now.